Morning. I think I'm going to try a slightly different format for these videos because I'm finding that I do so much in a day that's so varied that I end up with either a really short video like the last one with the, cutting the grass that I end up splitting, but in the whole day I do quite a lot. So I might try and, instead of doing a single topic per video, I might try and just cobble it together into a sort of daily, what we do in a day, because today's a good example. I just assembled the trailer for the quad bike, which I thought of filming, but I was like, it's not worth video on its own. Just assembled it, that was it. Now I'm collecting water from the stream, which is not really much. I'm going to get the internet Starlink. I'm going to try and get that done today. That is worth a video, but I mean, it's only of interest if you're specifically looking at that internet. So I thought I might try and just kind of bundle the day into a video with all the stuff that we do in that day, and we'll see if that's a bit more interesting, because at least it's more varied. And if you don't like the particular bit, such as plumbing the underneath the caravan, or you don't like building that, or you don't like collecting the water, you just skip ahead. There might be something later in the video that you find of interest. And I think it makes it a bit more cohesive than these random videos with individual topics that some are long, some are short, some are big projects, some are small. And we'll see how they do. If you like them like that, continue filming it that way. I think the thing here is the landscape and perhaps the lifestyle and what we're doing. So maybe the whole thing is a bit more interesting than just the snippets of jobs. I mean, not many of you are watching these for DIY videos anyway. I'm not sure everything that I do is a guide, and it's not very good filming for guide anyway, because I'd need to have it zoomed in and everything. And so we'll try it this way. If it doesn't work, I'll go back to the old way. So next is collecting water. We'll go collect some water. Might do some mowing today as well. I've got another bit I want to sort out. So yeah, first the water. This is where we're collecting our water from at the moment, and it's this lovely, how clear that is. But unfortunately I'm just bucketing it out at the moment. But there are these rocks, I don't know if you can see in here, like this one, and they're really sparkly. And that one there as well. And sometimes when I'm gathering the water in the bucket, there's glitter in there. So because that sounded kind of interesting, I got this book on rocks that I wanted to know what they were, because there's also these chunks of this which looks like quartz. There's this as well, like little pieces, kind of translucent. Like this one has gold flecks in it. And can you see that? It's like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. Like gold flecks, like really gold. I don't think it's actually gold. It's probably fool's gold or something, but it's really interesting. So anyway, I've got this book to help me identify what they are, and in the process I found out what that mushroom is. So I've kept it all in the back of the quad bike so that when I'm out and about I can have a quick look. But we'll go and have a browse, see what we can find about the stones, and we'll find the mushroom too. I have to say, I didn't think I'd have to contend with sunburn in Scotland. It's quite so quickly anyway. So it feels like it should be autumn right now, but right. So this is a book on rocks. I'll dry my hand because I'm going to ruin all the pages. Got this book on trees. These are really handy because they're just pages and pages of identification. And I think, did I open it on the right page at the first time? Yeah. So I think these are schist, which have the kind of like slate, but the pictures here don't do it justice. But when I read the description, That one up there is kind of glittery. But it's interesting. I'm not sure on the quartz, because the quartz is it's not quite as easy to identify as that. I always was expecting rock identification to be like, is it this colour? Can you see through it? Then it's this. But it turns out I got one book that turned up and it had no pictures in the whole book, and I was like, man, identifying what rocks are must be far harder than I think if there's a book on identifying rocks that has 0 pictures, because it must be a case of maybe you have to chemically test them or something, maybe they're mixtures. But anyway, this is the mushroom. Found him, there he is, and it's that one. Can you see in the camera? Amantia crocaea. Amantia crocaea. I kind of knew it was that one because the this is also that same guide as the tree one, so it's just got loads of pictures on it. Stays in the back here so that I can get to it. But yeah, it's exciting seeing the different wildlife here, and like trying to understand it a bit more than back where we were before. But anyway, I'm going to fill up the trailer with all this water, take it all the way up to the caravan, offload it into those blue buckets, do it again and again and again. Don't realise how much water we use at the moment. It's I kind of thought, actually, most of our water usage is all right. The thing that surprised me is the washing machine. I always thought washing machines, well, I guess I just thought they use a small amount of water, but if you do an express wash, it's a little amount. If you do a proper wash, it's like half our water supply in one wash. So I think until you go off grid, you're just not really, like, it's in going off grid and really measuring how much you use that you suddenly realise where it goes and perhaps where you can make the best savings. But yeah, this is certainly a workout, bringing all this water up here. That's why I've got the trailer, so I can just fill it up, because each one of these buckets, I'm not really sure how many we need for this, but what's that? I mean, I've done 10 and it hasn't filled it up, so right, I'll do all these trips. Just had this stuff arrive from well, I don't know where. Built hammer. This is under body protection for, hang on, well, these are bigger than they look. Oh, there is a handle. Under body protection for the underneath of the quad bike, and we've got a Defender arriving in a few days, and I've noticed that if I ever leave a tool out and it's slightly moist in the air, it gets rusty quite quickly here. So I really don't want all this to get rusty. So I thought about Underseal, or what's the other one called? Underseal, something wax. Can't remember. But the typical products. But they they really goop everything up, and I wanted something that was fairly light. And this is at least clear. It's probably still a thick coating, but that's one of the jobs I've got to do, try and protect those. And then this is Starlink, which I haven't opened yet, so we'll have a look together. I got it ages ago. It's just one of those round fit jobs. I suppose this leg, we're going to set it up on top of this bin. Right. Leg. Satellite. There's a lot of cable involved in that. Pretty simple thing, isn't it? Oh, I need 2 hands, so I'll put you down. It's fairly heavy. What's that? Some kind of router. That thing there. That looks like it goes inside anyway. Now we've got quite a long cable. That's handy because Oh, that's got to thread through there, hasn't it? Cable's got to go through there. There's the rest of the cable. Should I read the instruction manual? Just make sure. Otherwise I'll put this together and then I'll wish I had... Oh, seems to say this unplugs from here. That true? Yes! Okay. Well, I'm glad I checked that, because if I'd bothered the other way... How do you go through there then? Oh, that way. Then the cable goes back through. Nope, you're never fitting. Okay, and you've clicked into position now. Pull you back off. I don't know how much, oh this is, I do know how much it was. It's about £500, I think, for the satellite itself. And then £70 a month for the service. So it's expensive, but the internet for us is fairly critical. Got the right way around this time? Yes! Right, so we've got a satellite dish, cable, and it does have screw holes in here, so I can screw it down. I suppose my next problem is on a barn that you can't stand on the roof. I'm not going to put it. Oh, this is that box that I presume is going to go inside some kind of receiver. There's instructions there, but cable, stickers. Always like stickers. I never stick stickers anyway, but I keep them in a box. I know it's really weird, but whenever you buy a new product, I always sort of keep a sticker. I used to be a BMXer, skater, all that kind of stuff. Sticking stickers everywhere was cool when I was young, but now I'm old, but I still keep stickers. Where are we going to put it? I can't, it's all metal up there. I could put it on that. I can't screw it on top of that. Could I make a bracket? I could. Ah, I don't know. Don't know where I'm going to put it. Maybe I should just put it on the floor and test it first, and then see where we're going to put it in a minute. I mean, it does. I could screw it horizontally, couldn't I? Because those holes, I could screw it like that, couldn't I? Don't know if that satellite dish is supposed to go that way around. Don't know if it makes a difference. Right, well I'm going to have a hunt, see where I'm going to put that, and then we'll put it up, make sure the cables will reach where I want them to reach. It's got to go somewhere over this side here, because that's where the power is. Right, well let's do that. Found a fairly good place for it. There's no way of screwing it on top of the barn because of the metal roof. I mean you could, but I don't really want to put holes through the metal roof, and it's really quite delicate up there because it's so old and so rusty. But I put the Starlink on a board, as you saw, climbing up a ladder, and I can just glue the bottom of that onto here using some of this, which is brilliant. Run the cable down. The idea of it is you want to see as much sky as you can. We've got a bit of a problem with there because we're never going to get past those trees. I was thinking about putting something in the middle of the field, but I mean, even then we're in a valley, so there's not really any way of of getting that. So I'm going to put some glue on here. In fact, it's probably where I want it, just there. I'm replacing all this roofing fairly soon, so it doesn't matter to me too much. One more, maybe it'll reach there. The thing with this stuff though, if you use it, it doesn't set as quickly as you think it might. So if you give it 12 hours, it might not be set. You've got to wait 24. Then it's set. So often it's good to put a screw in, something else to hold it in the meantime. I'm not going to because can't be bothered, and it's still weather, so I'm gonna hope this is fine. Can sort of angle this, I think. It's got a release catch, or you just go for it. Maybe that. And it doesn't want to go. Why's that? Maybe it's a pull thing. Oh, I don't know. Got to adjust that angle so it points up, I think. And then we'll test it inside. So it's doing some kind of setup. So that'll be why I couldn't turn it, because it was spinning on its own just then. So I've plugged it in. Just came around here to get the laptop to start it up. It seems like it's doing something already. So I'll wait and see, and then we'll see what kind of speeds we're getting. It's pretty offhand really. Seems to be working on its own, which is good. Right, so we ran the phone, and can you see that? Oh, maybe. 10.9 megabytes download, 2 megabytes upload. What does that mean? I don't really know. Sounds low, but that was that's been fast enough to check emails, fast enough to go on the internet, fast enough to watch YouTube. Uploading one of these videos takes a whole night, which is fine. So yeah, you can live with that. You can live with that. It'll get annoying over time, I think. But that's the phone. Now we'll get the Starlink internet working. My wife will do some iPhone wizardry because my phone's not cool enough to do that. So she'll do all the bits, and then we'll get another speed test done. And in the meantime, I'm going to get some measurements done because we are going to redo the side of the barn, and I need to get, it's lovely weather, you can tell. I kind of want to get it done whilst it's good like this before we get to the winter. So that whole section on the right there that's all collapsed, I'd like to get that whole section rebuilt with brand new clean, nice, structurally sound, not going to kill you when you go underneath it, type timber. We're going to get some metal roofing on that so that we can collect the water from that side there. So I've got to get that all measured up, and I might cut a bit of the grass at the front so that I can get along that side to work on it. So I'm gonna do that whilst my wife sets up the internet, and then we'll have a look and see how fast, what the differences is, and it'll be faster, won't it? Can't be slower. But I mean, the point here is that you can definitely operate off phone internet. The problem is though, the phone battery runs out really quick, so you have to plug it in while doing it. And if my wife needs the phone internet whilst I'm out here working and I need to phone Travis Perkins to get the materials done, it gets a bit sticky there. But next job is measure up. Might take me a while to do that because we've got to figure out all this timber, so I'll see you in a bit. One of my favourite things is having bonfires, and we've got so much cardboard that I brought it all up with me with the intention of making some paper fire bricks, but because we were going to put a log burner in the caravan, with the rest of the jobs we've got, I just don't think I'm going to get around to it, and we've got so much cardboard which is just overflowing. So I'm going to get that burnt, and the wife and the son are down at the river at the moment, so I think we're going to take the quad down. I'm going to get my my son to load up the back with some nice big stones so we can make a surround for the fire, surround for the fire pit, and then we're going to have that big fire tonight. So I know I said I'm going to go do the measurements now, but I've seen them go down there, and that's something nice. You have to give him jobs to do because he's a 2-year-old and he loves to be involved. He gets bored really easily, so I'm just going to nip the quad bike down there whilst they're there, take the opportunity whilst we've got it, and then it gives him something to do, and it was something I needed doing anyway. So let's take this down. This is way steeper than it looks. This is fine. Do you want to get some river rocks and put it in the back, and then we'll make a bonfire pile? They found blackberries, so they're doing that instead. But we got the quad bike down here, so I reckon we'll get some of those big rocks, put them in there, and then we'll choose a fire location somewhere around here. Stones will just stop the fire spreading. I usually have a fire extinguisher with me if we're having a bonfire anyway, just in case. But you know, better safe than sorry with stuff like this. So that's just about done for today. I'm waiting for a call back from Travis Perkins to confirm the quantity of orders for all our bits. Got nice, really nice weather today. See the dark clouds, almost looks like it's going to rain behind the pine trees. See our Starlink all the way up there. I'm going to add the speed test to that tomorrow because it seems to be it needs quite a lot of time to set up. I think it's got to sort of track all the satellites and follow its way around. It takes a little bit of time, so it'll probably be tomorrow before I've got internet speed. So I'll just add that in to this video when I've filmed it. I'm in the fire circle. Put it here. First time we have one, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to. I'm going to have buckets of water and fire extinguishers and stuff because I'm worried that this stuff's going to catch. And the rocks are supposed to, you know, stop it travelling, but I think we're going to have a small bonfire to start with, douse the surrounding area, and then work our way up to a bigger bonfire because I don't want to set fire to the whole side of the hill. There's concrete up there, but it's right next to the road, and having a bonfire in your driveway just feels a bit odd. I could have a barrel, but we've got quite big stuff to burn, so I need a bonfire place. Could dig the top off and make a more permanent surround, but I think we'll just start small and work our way up as the grass burns back. Chose this location because I always end up putting stuff right in the way, and I've got a gateway through there even though the fence is going to come off. The house is going to go somewhere up, like we haven't quite decided where, but somewhere on that bit there. Got access down here, so, and this bit just here is quite wet, it's quite boggy, so we put it here because this is it feels like a good place for now. I can always move it, but you know, I'm not made it too permanent. Got my wife and son chose some really lovely. Can you see how glittery that is? Like it's all shiny. Dried the rest, you know, regular stones because some have got some nice layers in it. There's one, where is it? I probably put it up the wrong way. One's got this really nice line in it. It might be that one. No, it's not that one. Which has got kind of vein of something else in it, which is quite cool to see. But yeah, that's us done for today. It's Friday, so I'm gonna have a beer, some good food. I think my wife and I are going to come out after Casper's gone to bed because he's whinging a lot today, and we might have a mini fire without him. Sounds harsh, but he can't be pleased today, so I'm not sure a fire is going to be his cup of tea. So calling that for today. I probably will do some stuff through the weekend, but whether I film or not, I'm probably just going to be tidying up. So you're not going to want to see me moving cardboard from A to B all weekend. So I'll probably see you Monday and should have some more fun stuff to do.